Argentina versus Australia, a lineup that you're not likely to see in the FIFA World Cup final because one of us probably isn't going to make it that far. But when it comes to Malbec, we do stack up. So this week, Different Drop has provided us with 6 wines. 3 from Argentina, 3 from Australia. Generally speaking, we haven't drunk a lot of Argentinian wine, but thankfully on staff here at Unico, we do have someone who's going to be able to help us out with this. So joining us this week, we do have a special guest, Aggie from Argentina. Let's see who's going to come out on top, Aussies or the Argentinians. Cheers.
So I'm Agustina. I came to Australia many years ago. I am a winemaker. Got stuck with COVID and here we are. Got in love with Australia and got in love with your wines, guys.
Good wine from Mendoza?
Some. So I always wanted to be a winemaker since I was 7. My parents were like, why? And I was like, well, Mendoza, you know, like it's all around us. I want to travel. And winemaking really helps you do that. And I'm really good at chemistry. I worked in Argentina during my studies, and then I worked in the US, I worked in New Zealand, and I worked here in Australia. I really like wines in Australia. Like, I fall in love with a lot of varieties. I think it's more like a nostalgic thing, Argentina, but like Australia has introduced me to a lot of other things, so I fall in love with the wines in Australia.
All right, so we have 6 Malbecs, which I've been secretly really excited to try, mainly because Malbec typically does very well on this show. To celebrate today, I've double-layered Patagonia, because I'm secretly holding out that Argentina is going to take us to town.
Number 1. And this smells relatively full-bodied, so this could get confusing between the Argentinians and the Australians.
These glasses are very big.
Oh man, cassis, dark chocolate, a slight amount of almost like a meatiness.
Yeah, lovely nose, sort of red fruit, bit of pepper, but not so crazy. Delightful. I think this is a bit of a cheat code, man. Malbec for like people who aren't really convinced that they want to get into like the world of heavy reds.
It's quite flat with the acidity. It's a little bit oaky to my liking as well.
Lovely sort of silty tannins, fairly mid-weight palate. Wow, that finish, still here. That's really good. That's a really impressive wine. Here, I would happily drop $42 a bottle, and I would buy 6 to 12.
I would say that it's Argentinian. I would buy maybe a bottle, just like $40.
It doesn't dry your mouth out, but it does feel like there's something going on there. So for me, I'm gonna have 6 bottles of that one. I reckon that's a $35 bottle of red.
Wine number 2. We're going a little bit darker.
Sort of like violet purple colors going on there. I'm not sure if you can, like, even spinning it maybe, that'll be where that comes out.
Yeah, it's a lot more purple.
Oh, it's a little bit more plummy.
Oh, way more flowers on the nose. The other one was all about fruit. This is definitely a little bit more perfumed.
I like this before, like more than the other one. It's a lot more fruit, more plum.
Malbecs being made in Australia in a sort of very sort of typical manner will be quite extracted, quite big. In Argentina, they can probably get cooler weather, I'm guessing. And so that would render it a little bit leaner and fresher. And so I'm going to say wine number 1 is probably from Argentina.
This is a lot more sort of like lactone-y, a little bit milkier. You know the feeling of milk in your mouth? Remember when we all used to drink milk and it wasn't just held for serial killers and social deviants? Well, as someone who's still a big calcium boy, that feels like milk in your mouth.
I like the acidity. It's a little bit not as well balanced as I expected it to be.
Not as high elevated acidity as the first wine, which I actually found really lovely. And it's like a broadness, like a heat to it. Like it's a little bit too broad, it's a little bit too ripe, it's a little bit too unstructured.
I don't think it's Argentinian. Yeah, I'll still pay like $30 to $40. 3 bottles of this.
I want to say it's not a metallicness, but it's an iodine-like finish here. I'd pay around about $38 a bottle for it, and I'd buy 3. I think it's Aussie.
Of 8 bottles of that one, like it more, $45. The tannins there as well. It's a really nicely put together wine. It definitely tastes different to wine number 1. Wine number 1 was definitely a lot more primary fruited. This is a little bit more secondary, tertiary education / flavors.
Ooh. This smells like
Vicks, which is a rub. It's got all this like eucalypt and other sort of botanicals in it, I assume.
It's a bit muted here, like it's not jumping out of the glass like the first two wines were. It's not really giving me a lot of varietal characteristics.
Like a Western Australian red? Eucalyptus-y.
I'm looking for something. Sorry.
Much less full-bodied than the others. This is a lot sort of like brighter and therefore sourer, like more raspberry than strawberry. So we've got that like peaky tartness to it.
Lean, fresh, bright, clean, not a lot of tannin going on. This is a really great, light, dry red. Is it a really great Malbec? I could have blind tasted this, which I did, and told you any grape variety.
Yeah. No. Yeah, no. It's very acidic. Like, there's like a disconnection between the tannins and the acid.
I'm going Aussie only because of the eucalyptus trees. I'll have another 8 bottles of that, and I reckon I'll pay $40 a bottle for it.
I'd pay around about $25 a bottle for it, which is the price I pay for light, dry red, and I would buy 1 bottle.
I'm not a fan. I don't think I'll buy a bottle of this. Nah. Nah.
All right, wine number 4. Yep, we're back on song here.
That's a lot better balance.
I reckon this is Argentinian.
Oh man, that hint of reduction. Man, don't be afraid of reduction. Like in measured amounts, it can be so much more interesting to the aromatics of any wine that you throw in.
Back to that tannin. Doesn't necessarily coat your whole mouth like Shiraz might. Like it doesn't suck all the moisture out of it.
Yeah, it's not as intense, but it's really easy to drink. The acidity and the tannins are nice. You can feel the oakiness in there.
There's a reduction and a meatiness on the nose, and oh man, I really love it. The finish, this is really, really good. I pay like $45 a bottle for it. I buy 6 to 12. I really dig the meatiness here.
I'll buy like 2 bottles of that. $50 for that.
I have 3 bottles of that, and I'll pay $40 a bottle. Interesting.
And wine number 5. Look, this is inky black. Check this out.
Darker in color.
Ooh, I really like this.
Hell yeah. That smells amazing.
This is as if you've grabbed 10 cakes, right? Like, we're talking mud cake, and compressed it and compressed it and compressed it and just squeezed it in, and that's the aroma. Like, it's chocolate.
A little bit of vanilla, like that oak, very present too. I like this.
That's the best smelling wine we've had today. Very capsicum. Does it smell like capsicum? Like a capsicum lolly. Like it's bright, but still sort of like paprika-y underneath all of it.
Ooh. Now it feels like they put some chips in this. It tastes like chips. It tastes like they just like...
A lot of oak on the back palate as well. Like there's a lot of oak here. But the tannin is really silky.
Powder. This is Argentinian. I mean, you guys do it too, but not as much as in Argentina.
6 bottles, and I would pay $45 a bottle for it.
So sad because it smells so good. I'll have a bottle of that. Like maybe I will buy it again. If it's cheap, like between 20 and 30.
I would buy 3 bottles because I do have friends that enjoy these wines. You may be one of them. I'm going to serve this with you. And we're probably never going to be real mates because we're not going to have the opportunity to talk. I want to have a conversation with you. I want to sit down and I want to have a glass of wine. And I want that wine to be a part of a greater whole of a mix of a meal and a chat. And we're going to get deep and meaningful about a bunch of... Rant over.
Yeah, dude, I've done a pretty good job of describing these red wines as looking different so far. I'm going to level with you. This one looks pretty similar to some of the others.
Cool. Immediately, like off the nose, I'm much more into this wine than wine number 5.
Some pepperiness up there, somewhere.
Hiding.
This is nice.
Not as sort of like jumping out of the glass fruit aromats or like floral aromats as some of the others that we've had so far.
It's just got a little bit more savory elements here, providing a bit more intrigue and interest to the aromatic. I like that. I like that. That's why I drink Malbec.
Quite a bit of oak, but it's nice. I like that.
Generic-ish red wine, like you can convince me that was a GSM, like just a blend of a bunch of different like medium to heavy-bodied reds, but it's come together really nicely.
When I'm looking for great Malbec, I'm looking for a bit of savory on the nose. I want to see acid. There needs to be acidity here. There needs to be tannin, but the tannin and structure needs to be very soft. This ticks all of those boxes. I would pay $110 a bottle and I would buy 12. That is a stonking wine.
I'll say like I'll buy 6 bottles of that. $50 for that. I'm cheap though. and not like the guys.
All right, let's see what the other guys think. Ready to talk about Malbec?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. 6 Malbecs here. 3 from Australia, 3 from Argentina. Thank you so much for hopping in as our special guest.
Did you enjoy them?
Some of them.
Some of them?
Some other ones I was like,
What about you? How'd you go with them?
I really enjoyed a couple of these, and they weren't what I was expecting them to be. There's quite a variance of like mouth weight and across these acidity.
Yeah.
And I found myself gravitating towards the meatier, savory ones. I haven't tried like an immense amount of Argentinian wine before, but I've tried a lot of Australian.
Yes.
And there is like some wines here that have very low acidities and they're very robust and very ripe. And I was thinking those were probably more the Aussie examples.
For sure. Let's see how we went identifying them. Wine number 1. What were your vibes? Australian or Argentinian?
Argentinian.
Argentinian.
Aussie. Great. So I feel really confident in how I've gone about this. I went Aussie because this was I don't know if it's just like first wine of the day sort of stuff, but it had that characteristic of a big red wine where I can feel it burning on the way down, and I felt that a lot more with like Aussie wines over the time.
So I'm guessing you didn't like it?
I didn't hate it, but yeah, I said little hot, but overall yum is what I wrote for it. I got 6 bottles in the end. I wanted to spend $35. You were both thinking Argentinian though, so what did you think of this wine?
I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I thought this had first wine bias as well. So my scores on it were $42 and I wanted to buy 6, but I could be totally convinced of 12. I thought it was a really well balanced, like mid-palate wine. You're like preparing to slam it.
I did say that I am treat next to you guys. Now analyzing the rest of them, because you have the first.
First, right? Yeah.
But after having the rest of them, I think that I will up my game and say that I like the intensity of the aroma compared to the other ones. It was there.
For sure.
I think sorry, I was gonna go to the second one, but it's...
Now let's find out what this one is first. So Aussie, Argentinian wine number 1 is Argentinian. Yeah, it is Argentinian. There we go. Wine number 1.
The Argentinian knows his stuff.
La Linda Malbec. So this is from Mendoza in Argentina.
How much is it?
This is $25 a bottle. That's a bargain.
I'll buy 5 then. I said that I was gonna buy 1, but like for that,
5 of them?
5.
Yeah. 125. What's up with the shapes of these bottles? Is this like an Argentinian thing? Oh, it's
Because in Argentina they use these bottles a lot, don't they?
Yeah, they like them. They think that they look more elegant, I guess. And I think they do.
I see that, yeah. There is something, like, we're so used to like the Australian wine bottle shape here, which is quite straight up and down, whereas having that little bit of coming out, it does look a little bit more grandiose. But then it's also $25, so it's like... Cool. All right. Well, wine number 2. Yes. This now I thought was a lot softer than the first wine.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's slowly getting down the Aussie part.
Yeah.
Hey?
In the mouth too.
Yeah.
Like the intensity in the nose is not as strong as the first one.
No.
And like in the palate it's well balanced. I said that I like that one better than the one before.
More of a cooked nose than the first one. So the first one smells a lot like sort of brighter and more fruity, whereas this does smell like it spends a bit of time on the stove, like it might be a bit more of a cooked down dessert. I did like it more than the previous wine. I went weird with these. I was 8 bottles.
It's just the softness of it, the broadness of it. It's this cooked.
It has good acidity too. Like compared to the first one, I felt that like the first one was quite flat, and the second one has that kick of acidity that you guys like to put into your wine. Like, you like a little bit.
I love the little jabs, just like a little bit of bag of tartaric acid.
Exactly.
Which is what this tastes like. I said $38 and 3. I thought it was a very fine, like it's a wine. It's a light dry red wine.
Drinking that now, it does taste a lot like the wine that Dad used to drink. So what I'm concerned about is that I'm gonna get everything. If I get everything wrong, if I call all of the Aussies Argentinians and all of the Argentinians Aussies, that's kind of getting it wrong. Yeah. It's noticing the
You need
difference.
to rejig your sort of past standard, I guess, of like what is Argentinian.
But yeah, this does taste like my childhood now. Anyway, 8 bottles, $45.
3.38.
I said 3 and 30 to 40, so I guess
That's in that range. I like it.
In the pocket, we're aligned.
Dude, hell yeah, bro. Please. Damn it, I can't taste my childhood anymore. So I thought this was Argentinian, but it is so clearly Australian. Bleasdale, fantastic winery. They are celebrating their 125th.
And don't forget that Halliday just gave it 2024 Winery of the Year.
Hey, great job, Jimmy. I agree with you on this one. I was wrong. It's 175 years they're celebrating this year at Bleasdale. Wow. But yeah, still straight up and down bottle.
Yeah,
Doesn't look as magnificent as the Argentinian.
You can tell that like it just gives a little like a little extra bottle that shape.
This looks weirdly tall. It looks like a taller bottle than you. I don't know, man. I'm just.
It's also $26. Like, that is outrageously good value.
All right, so I'm nowhere near it so far. Wine number 3. This is the first one. So when I was tasting them, this was the first one that I was like, oh, I actually think that this is from this country because it smelled so eucalypty. I was like, this has to be Aussie.
I was reading your notes and I was like, exactly the same thing that I thought. I was like, this reminds me of reds from Western Australia, like really eucalyptus.
Yes.
Like, whoa. And I wrote that I would not buy not even a bottle.
Don't like it.
Dude.
We are aligned on that. I was $25 and one. There's nothing wrong with this wine. It's just if I want a Malbec, this could be many things.
Dude, this could be narrow. Like, it is so like sour and acidic and raspberry.
We made a good red wine, and just as a rule, good red wine is $25 and I'll buy a bottle.
If you're looking for something that tastes a little bit like eucalyptus and sour raspberry, you'd be pretty happy with it. So I got 8 bottles for $40. I thought it was cool. So no bottles for no money, 1 bottle for 25, 8 bottles for 40. All right, let's see. And we think Australian,
I think Aussie.
Aussie. Course, Malbec, P.A.R wines, that is Australian is it from WA?
No, it's from Hilltops in New South Wales.
Hilltops, New South Wales. There you go.
I
Wine.
haven't had as many wines from New South Wales. Amazing.
$35 a bottle, the most expensive that we've had so far. The one that you guys have liked the least, that I've liked the most. So again, wine number 4. This was weird.
I started to turn around on this. I was like, okay, I like that it's reductive. Like it's smoky. And I kind of think it plays into the meatiness aspect really well.
For sure.
Don't mind the acidity on it as well. I was $45 and 3. Like, I wasn't screaming to jump out to buy heaps.
Yeah.
I like that. I wrote 2 bottles at 50. That for me is like, I don't drink as much.
That's a big spend.
Upon review. But no, my favorite was the last one.
Okay. Cool.
And then this one.
Okay.
So yeah, I really enjoy that. I think that is Argentinian, and I think that is quite representative. And if it's not, then I'll be very wrong.
When I first came across it, there was something really like oceanic about it. Like it smelt very like down by the docks, like also properly by the docks, like industrial docks, which is that reduction thing. Like it did smell salty, but it also smelled like people were working there. It's 3 bottles for 40. This is probably the one that I needed the least.
I went Aussie with it.
Let's see. Is Argentina. Look at that shape on the bottle. Again, these look weirdly tall. $45 a bottle. You're right, it is very typical of Argentinian Malbec, apparently, so you were right about it. Northern Argentina, right?
It gets like colder climate.
Yeah, dude.
So
Heavy, eh? I just love the big fat bottles.
This is from 1700
meters?
So this is up nice and high.
Mate, 2,300 meters is the winery.
Damn, dude.
How do they have any air? How do they breathe? Like, maybe they need this to feel alive.
100%. Wine number 5. Did this smell like capsicum?
Yes, this did. This was rye. A lot of oak, a lot of extract. I went Aussie with it. I thought it was going to be expensive. I'd buy 3 because it's quite admirable. I have mates that like wine like this. I'm not like jumping at it. I said it's going to cost $70. I probably wouldn't pay that much for it.
Coming back to it now, I didn't get it the first time through. Very like dark chocolatey as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of chocolate there. There's a lot of sweet.
I was like, this is awesome. I smelled it and I was like, this is my type of wine. And then I tried it and tasted like chips to me. So I was
Like shit.
Chips?
like chips, like oak powder.
Oh, oak chips. I was like,
What flavor though? What flavor?
I'll drink it.
Yeah.
I liked it, but I was like, it's completely different.
The
to what I thought
expectations
it
that
was
Noah
gonna
set
be.
for you were a little bit underwhelmed.
there's a dense wine.
I said, if it's cheap, I'll buy it. If it's not cheap, I'll not.
Yeah. I was half a dozen for $45, so I was still thinking that these might be a little bit pricier, but we've got some bargains so far.
70 and 3.
So you want it to be 20 to $30, and I thought it was Argentinian personally.
I thought it was Argentinian.
I thought it was Australian.
All right, show me that shapely body. Let's go. That looks pretty Aussie. That is McLaren Vale Malbec from Hickinbotham. There you go.
We had this recently on the show and it did pretty well. And not a bad one, like a bigger punches. At $90 a bottle, that's a pretty penny, man.
Well,
Pretty penny.
I don't think that this wine has sort of like leapt out and said this is more impressive than any of the other wines that we've had so far today. Like,
No.
it's different, sure, but is it twice as valuable as that previous high altitude Argentinian Malbec? I'd rather drink the last one.
It's owned by the Jackson family. Not MJ, not that Jackson family, different Jackson family.
Yeah, that's why it's $90. It's owned by the Jackson family.
Right.
Fine, straight
It's
away.
not at 1,700 meters above sea level.
No,
Over and
no,
around.
no.
200?
No.
200 meters above sea level.
One number 6.
This wine rocks.
I like that one. I was into that
This
one too.
is everything that I want from Malbec.
Yeah, I was being complimentary. I was like, this wine has blend energy in the sense that when you've got wines that have been blended together, like, you know, when you're making breakfast in the morning and you just have eggs, the only ingredient you have to work with is eggs. So if you can't do eggs really well, you can have a shit breakfast. Whereas when you're doing a blend, you can throw bacon in, avocado, so really like work towards a final thing. This feels like a product that someone has chosen to make in this taste, and I really liked it, and it was a compliment calling a single vineyard blend energy. Anyway, I thought it was Australian.
It lost me. It's got everything, but it's all in balance. Like, it's got a lot of acidity, but it's got a lot of weight. It's got great tannin, great structure. It's got varietal character on the nose, and it's not all just sweet fruit and oak.
Yeah.
There's oak, there's some sweet fruit, but man, that meatiness is just yummy.
I think I said that it felt like mushroomy, and I was like, this is really cool. Like, I really like this, and like in mouth is what you said, really well balanced. The acidity is there, the tannins are there, but it's not like super bitter at the end. Like, it's really, really well balanced. Like 6 bottles for 50 bucks. That for me, it's a lot of money. And then I said that I wouldn't cheap.
That's your favorite.
10 and 12.
110 and 12.
I think this is Pinnacle Argentina.
I had 6 bottles and I didn't write a price down for some god-known reason. Having looked at them again, though, I think that this one does stand out as probably the most interesting of the lot.
That
So
finish is just glorious.
Yeah.
So long.
call it $60. I went Aussie, you went Aussie,
Aussie.
you went.
Argentinian.
All right. Brendo, and that is a $175 bottle of Malbec. Look at that label as well. There's a piece of art.
Catena Zapata, of course. Of course.
Yeah.
They do make really good wine.
10 centuries of life, death, and any thoughts? Rebirth.
Rebirth.
Was this everyone else's sort of pick of the
Yeah.
liner?
That was mine.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah, 3, 2, 1. That's wine of the week. What about overall? Did we prefer the Argentinians or the Australians more? So it went Argentine, Aussie, Aussie, Argentine, Aussie, Argentine. So
For me, it was 1, 4, and 6.
1, 4, and 6. I liked 2, 3, and 6. So that's Aussie, Aussie, Argentinian.
Oh, dude, it was all the Argentinian
I
ones for me.
did all Argentinian.
I think Argentina wins.
So, what can we take away from this? If you grew up in South Australia and spent a lot of time at Bleasdale as a youth, you'll probably like that wine a lot. I happen to have done that. If you actually like Malbec from Malbec, Argentina wins. Alright, so wine of the week is the Catena Zapata Malbec here. Spend a bit of money on some Argentina.
And if you know how to pronounce it,
Catena Zapata.
thank you.
Catena Zapata. Pardon me. Thanks for joining us. See you next week, guys. Ciao.
Ciao, ciao.